everyone. I'm Melissa here, and welcome to your Melissa Moment. Hello everyone, Melissa here. Welcome to your Melissa Moment, and welcome to Try It Thursday. We're in my kitchen today because I have a cold. Can you tell? I'm not feeling 100%. It's cold outside, and I figured it's a great time to make some soup. Well, not my favorite, but one of my favorite soups to make is cabbage soup. Now, I know a lot of people will hear that, cabbage soup, and be like, ew, gross. Trust me when I tell you it's not. The taste of this soup is so good. I'm not a huge cabbage person. I don't like cabbage. I don't like cabbage rolls. I like coleslaw, but not when it's like all heavy cabbage. Like, I'm not a cabbage person, but I love cabbage soup. I can't describe it. I don't know why, but I do. Now this soup has been called many things. Cabbage soup. It's also been called the weight loss soup. There's an actual cabbage soup diet out there. And basically it's because this is a very low calorie soup. Another reason I like this soup, the ingredients are fairly cheap to buy. It makes a lot. And because it's so low in calorie, you can eat as much as you want to. It's really good. So we're going to make it today. I've already done some prep, okay? Because the way I'm going to have to move my camera, you're not going to be able to see me as much. You'll just hear me talking for the most part. So let me just pull up this recipe. I'll tell you what you need, okay? You're going to need half a head of cabbage, roughly chopped. I used Savoy cabbage, but there's all different kinds out there. Half a head. 1 cup of diced celery, 1 cup of diced onion, 1 cup of diced carrots, 1 green bell pepper chopped, 2 to 3 cloves of garlic, 4 cups of chicken broth. I prefer using a veggie broth, so I'm using mushroom today. 1 14-ounce can of diced tomatoes. Now, they prefer the one that is the basil, oregano, and garlic flavor. I just have diced in my cabinet, so we're just going to add in a little extra herbs into it. A teaspoon of oregano, half a teaspoon of red pepper flakes. That's optional. I don't put that in because I find it's too spicy. But if you like spicy food, definitely add it. Salt and pepper to taste. That's it, you guys. Also, some olive oil. So I've got my big pot. Let me move you here. Okay. All right. I've got my big pot on the stove. Okay. I'm cooking over medium-high heat. I'm going to put some olive oil in. Okay. So just a little bit of olive oil in here. Okay. Just a little bit of olive oil. There we go. All right. Now we're going to add in 1 cup of diced onions. Let me move my cabbage. I have more than a cup. I just used 1 onion, and I like onions. And because I have a cold, I really want to get a lot of onions and garlic in this. So I have probably 1.5 to 2 cups of onions, but you want 1 cup. 1 cup of diced celery, 1 cup of diced carrots, 1 green bell pepper chopped. We're going to put this into our hot pan. And we're just going to cook it until the carrot is tender. Okay? You're going to hear the sizzle. Okay. Now I'm using a very big pot because, like I said, it makes a lot of soup, and I want there to be enough room in here once that cabbage goes in. Ooh, okay. I lost the pepper. pepper, you guys. Let me throw that out. Okay. Let me move this. I don't need this anymore. Let's see if I can get you guys closer here. We'll see what we can do. Don't worry, I'm going to vacuum later. Okay. So you just want to stir this around every once in a while. Okay, you just want that to saute. I don't know how long it's going to take for those carrots to get soft, but we're just going to let them do their thing. Okay, while we're waiting on that, we can start prepping some of the other stuff here. So basically, yeah, we're going to wait until the carrot gets tender. Once the carrot's tender, we're going to add in garlic and our broth. Now, they said 2 to 3 cloves. I buy the already minced garlic. And because, again, I have a cold, I also love garlic, I'm going to put way more than that in. So we don't really need to prep our garlic. But this would be the time, if you were using fresh garlic, to prep it. Okay? And now 4 cups of broth. That's about a container. I do have another container we might use because I do find I usually add a little more liquid into the soup because once you put all the cabbage in there, there's not a lot of liquid. Also, I have more onions than the recipe calls for, so I'll probably want a little more liquid just because of that as well. But we'll start with 1 and we'll go from there, okay? So basically, once the carrot's tender, we're going to put the garlic and the broth in. Then you're going to add in the cabbage and your diced tomatoes with the liquid. Okay, that's going to give you a little more liquid. So let's just open our can. Let's just prep. I like to prep my ingredients, especially, you know, while I'm waiting, just to make sure I'm ready. Okay. Let's give these another stir. The onion's getting nice and translucent. Carrots are still definitely not tender. Still got a long way to go on those babies. But yeah, this soup, honestly, it's so quick and easy to make. Like it really is. Okay. Just prepping everything here. You can also freeze this soup. I have froze it in the past. Like I said, it does make a lot. It's just, I don't know, something about having a soup when you're not feeling great or like a really cold, wintry day or a rainy day. It's just, I don't know, it makes me feel good, you know? You just get that kind of warm, cozy, comfort food feeling with soup. Okay, our green pepper is getting nice and green. The color is changing. Those carrots, I'm sure, still are not tender. Let's give it a little bit longer. Okay, so here's our cabbage. This is half a head, and I just roughly chopped it. Okay. Now they do also in this recipe, they do say to put all your seasoning in at the very, very end. I don't usually do that. I'll put my seasoning in usually when I put the broth in, just because I want it to really, you know, permeate through all the vegetables and really get another depth of flavor in there. So salt, pepper, oregano, and then I'm also going to add in some basil because my diced tomatoes don't have any basil. So they say a teaspoon of oregano. So I'll do a teaspoon of oregano and a teaspoon of basil is what I will do. And then salt and pepper to taste. Again, I love pepper, and especially when I'm not feeling well, I like to have, you know, a little extra pepper. I think it really helps with opening up all of your, you know, your nose and all that kind of stuff. So, okay. So the carrots probably aren't tender yet, but that's okay because I'm all right letting my soup simmer for a while. So now we're going to add in 2 to 3 cloves of garlic. Like I said, I love garlic, so I'm just going to add like a whole bunch of garlic in here. A whole bunch, you guys. A whole bunch. 4 cups of our chicken broth. Now I'm going to measure because I am curious. I'm pretty sure that's pretty much a whole container, so let's see. And like I said, I'm using mushroom broth. 1, 2, maybe there isn't 4 in 1. Maybe it's only 3. Oh, interesting. 3. Oh, no, it's 4. Yeah, it is 4, you guys. It's 4. Okay. So we've got that. And now it says garlic and then your cabbage and diced tomatoes. And then once you have that, you're going to bring it to a boil. Okay? So I'm going to turn up my heat now all the way to high. I'm going to show you guys what that looks like. Okay. Now, I'm going to put in my spices. So a teaspoon of oregano. And you can add more spices in if you want to. A teaspoon of basil. I'm going to do like half a teaspoon of salt. And then pepper. Got my spices in there. Mix that up. I know it seems like a lot of spices, but don't forget, we haven't put the cabbage in yet. And that's why I like to use a big pot, because the cabbage does take up a lot of room until it starts cooking down. Just put this away. Okay, so now, okay, cabbage and diced tomato. So our diced tomatoes go in with liquid. Okay, now we're going to put the cabbage in. So once you put the cabbage in there, you see what I mean? The cabbage takes up like a ton of space. Now the cabbage will cook down, but it's going to need time. So this is why I say sometimes I like to put extra liquid in, but we're going to let the cabbage cook down for a little bit first. And then we'll see if we actually need more liquid or not, because it is going to cook down a lot. So it wants you to bring it to a boil now. And this is why I like to use this big pot, just because you have the extra room. Okay, so then once you bring it to a boil, once the cabbage is tender, then it wanted you to add the seasoning, but I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that, you guys. So basically now we're going to bring it to a boil. We're going to do just kind of a slow boil until, yeah, the cabbage cooks down, the carrots become tender, all of that kind of thing. And once that's done, your soup's done, guys. It's done. So I'm going to come back once the soup has done that to show you what it looks like. We'll do a taste test. I'm probably going to have a bun to go with it as well. And that's quick and easy. Like, that's it. That's a quick, easy way to make cabbage soup. Like I said, it doesn't, the ingredients are fairly inexpensive. It makes a lot of food. And it's really tasty, you guys. Sorry, I know I've got a lot of light coming from over there. It's just, the lighting in this kitchen is not great for videos, but that's okay. So I will be back once the soup has simmered and is tender and is yummy for a taste test and show you what it looks like. I'll see you guys in a few. Okay, guys, we are back. This has been boiling for about 20 minutes. Okay, I let it boil. Now, I kept it at a roaring boil. Okay, you can turn it down and simmer it and go longer if you want to, but I'm hungry. So I did add in more broth. All right, I added in a lot more. I added in probably another 3 cups of broth. And I added in more basil and oregano as well. Okay, but it's been boiling away. I think everything is tender now. We're going to get a bowl and we're going to try it together. So, ladle. Let me show you first. Let me show you before I ladle it up what it looks like. Okay, so that's what we have going on. Everything looks tender. And you can usually, when you're in there stirring it around, you can feel, right? Like if there's a lot of resistance and stuff, you're like, oh, yeah, maybe it's not quite cooked yet. But you can tell. And I mean, you can also cook this longer if you want to. So it's a very hearty soup. It really is. And like I said, it's very low calorie. Oh, it smells so good, you guys. It smells so good. So like, we've got, like, look at that, you guys. Look. Like, it's so good. I'm just going to try the broth before we get into the veggies. Ooh, it's hot, 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 hot. Okay. Oh my God. Why is this so good? Like, this should not be this good. There's so few ingredients in here and nothing crazy, but it's so good. Okay, let's try some cabbage. It's gonna be hot, you guys. Don't watch me burn my mouth. Mmm. Oh my God, it is so good. You guys. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about the soup. It's so tasty. If you're not a fan of cabbage, if you're not a fan of tomatoes, I hear you. I'm not either. But I'm telling you, you need to at least try the soup once before you decide you don't like it. Because I never in my wild dreams would have thought that one of my favorite soups would be a cabbage soup. Like, what? I'm telling you, it's so good. And honestly, ingredients are easy to come by. They're cheap, easy to make, doesn't take long, makes a lot. You can freeze it. Check, 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 check. Like, these are all good things. So that is it. I'm going to probably grab a bun, grab a drink, and enjoy my hot cabbage soup. Hopefully it will help me feel better. And thank you guys so much for watching this Try It Thursday. I hope you're having an amazing day. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.